In this video, we're going to be reviewing the Ruger SR22. First introduced in 2012, the Ruger SR22 provides consumers now with a very lightweight, compact, and fun to shoot 22 caliber pistol. So what we're going to do now is go through some of the features, the functionality of the pistol, then walk through the accuracy and some of the utility and use of it. So the first thing, what are some of the good things I like about the SR22? The first thing is it's lightweight. The scale of the pistol is very small. In many respects, it fits into the category of a kit gun that you would commonly see people refer to. So when you look, for example, at the Ruger SR22, in addition to its size, you also have its weight. So in this case, it weighs just in at 1 pound, 1.5 ounces. And when you compare that, for example, to other popular options in the market today, for example, the M&T 22 Compact comes in at the same weight, but then when you move to things such as the SIG Mosquito, it comes in at 1 pound, 7 ounces, and then of course the Smith & Wesson Model 63, which is close to 1.9 ounces. So it's very small as well as very lightweight. A lot of the materials, whether that be the polymers as well as the aluminum slide, lead this to be a very easy pistol to be able to operate as well as to be able to pack and bring along with you. It is also very reliable. One of the big knocks on the 22 pistols, especially semi-autos for a long time, have been the fact that 22 is inherently an unreliable round compared to centerfire cartridges. There's so many points of failure, whether they be bad primers in the cartridge itself, not having copper-plated coatings on the barrels, or the bullet heads, which allow them to deform much more easily, especially when you're loading into semi-automatic pistols. So, and oftentimes, as a result of that, the 22 is something that even though people shoot, they realize they're giving up reliability and the convenience to be able to shoot 22 caliber ammo. But the great thing about the SR22 is I've tried many different variants of 22 ammo over the years through this platform, and it has actually fed almost everything extremely reliable. In fact, the only failures I've usually had to do with the bullet and not the actual pistol itself. Another advantage you have over the SR22 is you are allowed to dry fire this pistol, and that means if you want to practice either pulling the trigger or firing the pistol at any time, as long as the magazine is in and of course the magazine is empty, you can dry fire the pistol, either double, single action, without damaging either the fire pin or the actual chamber. And this is something you typically can't do with most other 22 caliber pistols. So for example, the M&P 22 Compact, they tell you not to dry fire this pistol because it can damage both the firing pin as well as the chambers. Pistols are the same way. You can start marring up and damaging the chambers and other types of pistols. But the SR22, you are allowed to dry fire this pistol. So if that is something that is a consideration for you when you're shooting a 22, it does give you that advantage over most 22 pistols in the market today. So what are some of the drawbacks to the SR22? Well, the first thing is it's not really an accurate pistol in comparison to more accurate 22 caliber pistols. So if you're looking for something for precision type target shooting, you're not going to get that out of this platform. This is more designed for fun and plinking. We'll get into utility in a little bit, but again, it's not very accurate compared to other options on the market today. There's also limited modularity that you can do with the pistol and interchangeable components as well. But again, it's the accuracy that you're going to notice the most. And again, it just has to do with physics as well. This is also a very lightweight platform in a very small package, which again works against your ability to get accuracy out of the pistol, despite the fact that you have adjustable sights on the pistol itself. Now, as far as caliber and capacity, the SR22 comes with a 10-round magazine. The nice thing is you have a spring assist on the load of the magazine, so you don't have to kill your thumb reloading the magazines over and over again into the pistol. And again, it takes 22 caliber. I have fired almost every major type of long rifle type caliber ammunition out of it, and it is fed very reliably for me relative to the ammunition that's out there and the other options that are available to you. As far as operation, it is a double single action. So if you don't have it cocked, you have your double action, and then of course it will default into your single action, which I'm not a big fan of double single actions, but for 22s it doesn't really make that much difference to me. One of the things you're also going to notice is you also have a decock safety, and the way it operates is if you are cocked and you try to put on your safety, it's going to actually decock you down, and it will leave you down as well. And when you're decocked on safety, it basically creates a dead firing trigger as well. So you can't do anything until you move it back up into the fire position as well. So it's a little bit different operation that we see in traditional decockers or safeties, because it's kind of built in together within the system. You'll also notice that when the magazine's removed, you also have another dead trigger as well. So the reality is it's dependent upon the magazine to be able to fire that way. One of the other things you're going to notice is two other things with the pistol. One is you have the ability to change out the grips, and these are literally rounded grips that you slide on to the frame itself, and it's very hard to do that. You have to really work it hard to get it on or off, and they give you two options. They give you the smaller size, which I have here, as well as the larger size for bigger hands, and you have to really kind of work this hard to get it on and off, but that's a good thing because you don't want it coming off when you're firing it anyways. But I also have average size hands, and it fits me just about right with the finger groove. But if you have larger hands, you also want to figure out whether or not the pistol is just simply too small for what you're firing. So you want to take that in consideration as well. The final thing is you'll notice it has an exposed hammer. So a lot of people now are becoming more familiar with the striker fire systems that are out there today, and because of that, there are no hammers. It's a internal striker system. In fact, a lot of people might look at, for example, the M&P 22 Compact and say, oh, look, it's a striker fire 22, but in effect it really isn't. In our video review of the 22 Compact, we'll show you that there's actually an internal hammer within the frame here. So it's in effect no different mechanism wise, and here the only difference is the hammer is not exposed within this frame as opposed to being exposed within the SR22. As far as ergonomics, again, it's good, it's small, but again, if you have large hands, you might want to figure out whether or not it can operate for you as well. You have a 3.5-inch barrel on this system itself. The takedown of the pistol is pretty simple, but it's different than what you might be used to with other pistols. So the first thing is you have a takedown lever under the frame in the trigger guard, and instead of bringing the slide forward, you're actually going to bring it up and over in the back. So in this case, for example, we take the magazine out and you lift up, and then you can bring it forward, and what you're going to find is instead of free floating and locking, it's actually affixed. The barrel is affixed to the frame itself, and then you have the frame as well as the spring at this point. And one of the things you'll notice with the SR22s is you'll see a little bit of wear here if you look closely, and there's a metal pin, and this is where the slide stop comes in. And since the frame is actually aluminum, it's going to wear much easier than if it was steel. So what they do is they put a little metal pin in here to account for this. But you will see some wear on your slide here. So just make sure that that pin also is in your slide to help prevent any really damaging wear beyond that. And then to reassemble, all you have to do is take the spring, put it back in here, line it up, walk it back, and then over, bring it forward, decock, and you're good to go. And then of course, in order to fire it, even dry fire it, you have to have the magazine into the well. So as far as options, there are different variants of this pistol. You have a suppressor barrel supported with threads that you can get. There's a longer slide, a 4.5-inch barrel. There's also multiple colors you can buy. This, of course, is the plain Jane simple model. But you do have options that are out there. As far as accuracy, it's just okay. It's not a precision pistol, and here's why. When you look at the groups that I've fired from the SR22, this is at 30 feet and this is at 50 feet. Within short range, it's good. There's nothing wrong with it, but when you start moving to 50 feet and out, it will start opening up for you. At least it has for me, where the groups start spreading. And then when you get up to, for example, 70 feet, they spread even further, and then I did a one-handed 20-foot group here as well, rapid fire. But if you want to compare this, for example, to, let's say, the Smith & Wesson M&P Compact, it is actually more accurate for me. Oops, let me pull the one that's actually has the right distances here. So at 30 and 50 feet, as a comparison, for example, the SR22, I'm able to shoot more accurate with the SR22 at both 30 and 50 feet than I am with the M&P Compact. And then when I take that out to 70 feet, so let's compare the SR22 at 70 feet. Again, it opens up and then with one-handed, but if I compare that to the M&P Compact, you can see that, again, I'm shooting more accurate with the SR22, marginally, but more accurate with the SR22 than I am with the M&P Compact 22. Now, there are more accurate options out there, including revolvers. So, for example, one of the pistols I have on the table now is the Smith & Wesson 63 model, and just in comparison, if you do have a heavier pistol with a longer barrel, especially with that trigger system, I do shoot more accurate with the model 63, and you can see it here in comparison. They are tighter groups compared to what I would fire with the Ruger SR22. Is it a big difference? Not really, but it is certainly a difference if accuracy is important to you, which takes us into the alternatives of what do you have relative to the SR22. So the first one is the M&P 22 Compact, which you've seen here. As I indicated before with my targets examples, this is actually a less accurate pistol than the SR22, which I would have thought otherwise, but it just is. But this is a viable alternative. It is a good pistol that's out in the market today. If you're really into accuracy, there's other variants such as the Browning Buckmarks, the Ruger 45, 22 45s, and then the Ruger Mark pistols, all of which are highly accurate relative to 22s compared to this pistol itself. And then the final one I had is the SIG Mosquito, which has been out a long time, which is actually one of my least favorite pistols, simply because it's highly unreliable with 22s. In fact, when SIG would send a letter like this indicating that there's a Mosquito troubleshooting tips, it would indicate to me that there's inherently a problem with the pistol itself. In fact, it is so finicky that there's only certain types of ammunition I can fire out of this 22 and do it even reliably. And as anybody that's been firing 22s over the past 8 years knows, it's very hard, or it has been very hard in the past at times, to even get any 22 ammunition, let alone good quality 22 ammunition, which is what is required to shoot out of the SIG Mosquito, which is why I won't even do a review on the SIG Mosquito. I just don't like the pistol for that reason alone. So there are other options on the market today, which takes us to utility. What is the SR22 good for? Well, the reality is this is a plinking gun. It is good for packing if you wanted something lightweight, a kick gun, if you will. If you have young shooters and children with smaller hands, this is a great platform for them to train on and have fun with, and just generally go out and recreational shoot with. That's really what it's good for. It is not a precision target shooting pistol, so don't buy it for that expectation. There are other models out there that are better for that. So overall, it's a great value pistol for what it is. It is compact, it is lightweight, it is fun to shoot, it is affordable, and based upon all my experiences I've had with it, I think it's one of the better values on the market today for just somebody who wants to have a recreational, fun 22 to shoot within their bag. So I hope this video helped. If you like our channel, please subscribe on YouTube, and thanks for watching.